Okay, so the sixth episode of Skeleton Crew was not what I expected. It was pretty touching in a lot of ways, and it went in a direction I didn't expect. And it had some moments that, if it hadn't been well enough done going into this episode, I would have rolled my eyes at them. But they managed to pull it off, and I think a lot of that goes to Dallas Bryce Howard, or Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't know exactly what her name is, but Bryce, I think Bryce Dallas, I think, the director. She does a good job. The Mandalorian episodes she directed were always really good. I'm pretty sure she's a nepo baby, but she does a really good job. I went into this episode expecting Jod's backstory after picking up the lightsaber at the end of episode 5. I figured we were going to see him escaping from the Pleasure Planet and flashbacks to his backstory while the children's parents worked on Ad-Aden to figure out what was going on with the supervisor. I didn't think we were going to see much of the children this episode, and it was exactly the opposite. KB is not force sensitive, it turns out. She is augmented. She is a cyborg, essentially. Wim got his moment of being a hero. That young actor's going places eventually. He doesn't hit all of his lines, but the ones he does hit, he does really, really well. That was a touching moment. Fern and KB reuniting was a touching moment. Neil and Fern teaching each other how to handle other people's differences and weaknesses was a touching moment. It was really, really well done. Really well done, like the rest of the show. The pirates survive. The majority of the pirates surviving the acid trip or the acid bath was kind of silly. The X-wings showing up and then shooting down one pirate ship and then just kind of disappearing was kind of anticlimactic. I thought for sure we were going to see some of. I thought for sure we were going to see the blue team guys from the Mandoverse, but it is what it is. I can't remember that alien's name from Rebels that had a brief appearance in season 3 of Mando, but yeah, I was really hoping for some cameos in that episode. Or when I saw the X-wings, I was kind of thinking we were going to get some cameos, but I'm kind of glad they didn't do it. But it's odd that they showed up at all. That could have just as easily been like planetary defense, whatever. It was kind of cool seeing the kids start to learn about the lore, I guess, of the Rebel Alliance. So that was interesting because to them that's all like history that they never knew about. So they'd be like learning about like World War One, not having known that it ever happened in the first place. Just super interesting. And then of course we got to the whole demolition sequencer, which that whole sequence with the with Fern and Neil jumping onto a hovering ship and tug ship, I guess, and commandeering it, and the crash landing and survival and nobody got hurt and plot armor and all that was pretty ridiculous. But at the same time, I was rooting for the kids. Rooting for the kids. That's what the show's all about. I still don't look at it as a kid's show. I look at it as a family show that's about kids. But it's been really well done. Really well done. Brutus is a pretty savage pirate. But yeah, now we've got the new and improved or original, I guess, recipe. Hard to say. Onyx Cinder, looking real sharp, real chromy, real Mandoversy, real nice and shiny. Looks badass though. Fern has the coordinates in her brain. Jod has the coordinates in her brain. It looks like the pirates and the kids are going to be reconvening on Ad-Atten. And I imagine they won't be reconvening until the end of next episode, but again, this show keeps proving me wrong. If I were in the producer director roles, I would be wanting to do some travel too, with some what's going on Ad-Atten and some how did we get where we are flashback sequences for everyone involved, followed by a landing, the setting up of all the chess pieces for the finale, because that's the way I see it. Tak Rennet obviously was, well, I shouldn't say obviously. I still think Tak Rennet became the supervisor. I don't know if Tak Rennet still is the supervisor. I don't know if we're going to get like a brain in a jar sort of scenario or what. For the longest time, I really did think we were going to end up finding out that it was a never-ending story kind of situation where Neil's parents or Wim's parents were telling them a story about a group of kids and what went down in a galaxy far away a long time ago. I hope they don't go that route at this point, but it seemed for a little while that might be the direction they were heading. I think anymore they're tying it into the Mando movie and potentially season 4 Mandalorian and all that. Because I could see these kids in 5 years' time when the actors playing them are 18, give or take, teaming up with a older than he is now but still adolescent Grogu to get into some shenanigans. I could see that. I think that'd be cool. I don't know how they could tie it all together, but I have a feeling they're going to, because Filoni's leading all of this from what I understand. So yeah, Onyx Cinder's cool. We'll see where the finale leads. I still think it looks like Ad-Atten is how Exegol, the fleet, was funded. I think they're going to retcon some of the sequel trilogy to make it make more sense, and to be honest, I'm all for it. So yeah, episode 6 was fun. It was emotional. I actually got emotionally invested in a couple of the scenarios with a couple of the kids, and yeah, that doesn't happen to me a whole lot. So anyway, good stuff. 4.5 out of 5 stars. I don't usually rank things at all, but yeah, we'll see you next week, guys. Looking forward to it. Take care.